Hey friends, welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I am Nate, coming up with another video. I'm going to do not necessarily a versus video, just another standard offerings from a specific distillery. This is going to be Angel's Envy. We're going to do the bourbon. We're going to do the rye. Something really cool is I actually have a friend who is a lead distiller at Angel's Envy. Somebody that I've known pretty much my entire life. Both him and his wife I've been friends with for a very, very long time. And he started working there back in August, I think it was. When I was at Whiskey Weekend, I was able to spend Sunday afternoon with him before I went home. So we're going to do Angel's Envy. The bourbon, this is, Angel's Envy does a lot of finished stuff. That's what they're known for. So their bourbon is finished in port wine barrels, and their rye is finished in Caribbean rum casks. Now this is actually going to be a fresh crack on the rye, and it is going to be my first time having the rye. The rye was a Christmas present from my buddy Connor, who I talk about a lot, and I hang out with at the cigar lounge. This was a Christmas present from him. I bought this for myself, but I gifted a bottle of this to my brother-in-law Jake. He and my sister were at my house one day. We were drinking, and he thought the bottle was interesting, and so I was like, "That's what I'll get you for Christmas." So that's what I did. So let's get this poured. So this is going to be 86.6 proof, so 43.3%. And this is going to be 100 proof, so 50%. Now, Angel's Envy does a lot of really interesting things. They just recently did some ice casks. They've done just a bunch of other stuff. So I'm excited to get into this. I'm really excited for this. This is my first time having it. Not a huge rum guy. At least I hadn't been. I'd never ever ventured into rum. However, I have a buddy of mine, one of the employees at the cigar lounge, Jeff, who I've mentioned in other videos is always offering. He has really good rum, some rum that you can't get here in the U.S., and he's always offering it. And since the last video where I mentioned I have taken him up on the offer of trying it, he gave me two. One of them I really, really, really liked. It was very banana forward, which was interesting, but I liked it. And then the other one was good, just not as good as the first one. But we're going to this is the bourbon. So it's Kentucky straight bourbon finished in port wine barrels. Now, a lot of you guys know this. A lot of you guys that watch my channel are just as much nerdy as me, if not more so. But you know that by law, they actually have to say the full thing for TTB purposes, for legal purposes. So technically, a whiskey in the U.S., specifically bourbon, rye, when it's straight rye, you can't. The laws are the same. But if it's just rye, there's a little bit. Thor, I'm making a video. Chill out, bud. I'll be out in a minute. Sorry about that. But they have to say Kentucky straight bourbon finished in port wine barrels. They can't just say it's bourbon. They have to, we can call it whatever we want to in, amongst ourselves. But for legal purposes, it's Kentucky straight bourbon finished in port wine barrels. Oh, it smells fantastic. Very, 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 very sweet. Definitely, I can definitely tell the wine finishing on it. Which of the Glenmorangies is port finished? Oh, actually I have a full bottle of that, the La Quinta Rubin. The 14 years port finished. Let's give this a try. It has a little decent amount of spice on it, and a nice hug going. Smells really good. Very, very sweet, corny. The oak is a little bit subtle. It's really, really, really good. It's interesting to me that this says Angel's Envy finished rye. It says it here, and then it gives a description down here, but it doesn't. This just says Angel's Envy. Maybe because Angel's Envy, you think bourbon naturally, so they have to set themselves a little bit apart. But it says this is the bourbon batch number 814 or 81Y. And it's bottle number 3510. Don't know what that means. And this is batch 13W, bottle 9686. So interesting. I was able to talk to my buddy that works for Angels Envy. He let me in on a little bit of how they do things, stuff I'm not going to talk about in this video, but and some stuff that they have coming out, and just Angels. They're currently expanding. When I was there, I'll be honest with you. When I was there for Whiskey Weekend, they're currently expanding. So they had certain parts of their distillery shut down. They were still open for tours and stuff. Got to be honest with you. Just as a little critique, their gift shop, like, tour starting area, it's very small and it was a little congested, and in my opinion, wasn't well run. It was a little bit hard to navigate, and the employees weren't necessarily that forthcoming with being that helpful. So I planned on going in, taking a tour and all that. Walked in, I was there for about 20 minutes looking around, and I left because it just wasn't my scene. But next time, I'm definitely going to make sure that that's something I do, and maybe I'll be able to go on a private tour with him. For being port finished, the finish is very, very, it's a little thinner. There's a wininess to it, so I get that. It's kind of rye up front, smooths out into a wine finish. It's really good. Definitely a sipping whiskey. I don't really know what what type of a cocktail I'd put it in, just because the wine finished is a little bit unique. All right, first time on the Angel's Envy finished rye Caribbean rum cask. Oh wow, that nose is interesting. Almost smells like a grilled meat, which is weird. I can't pinpoint what that smells like. It's really good. I really, really like this nose. Again, not being huge into rum and having very, very, very limited experience, I can't necessarily say, I can taste the rum on it. I'm not a huge wine experienced either, but I've had more wine than I've had rum. So, and I've also had a lot more port, specifically port finished. I have several, like you got the Isaac Bowman's port finished. You got the Glenmorangie's port finished. You got this is port finished. I've had quite a few port finished whiskeys. Never have I had rum finished whiskey. Oh, it's like, I want to say like a grilled onion, which is weird. Rye, I get kind of a baked spiced bread kind of. All right, let's do this. I like this nose. This nose is interesting. Get a little bit of banana on it. It's the proof, definitely. I can tell the difference in proof, which I like. I like that it's 100 proof. It's interesting. It's clinging. Man, that rye's a clinger. Honestly, I get like grilled onion on the taste. It's so weird that I'm getting that. I don't know why. It's so good. I'd put that in a cocktail because it's a rye, which is going to hold up. It's so unique. Like, if you had a drink that called for rum, maybe swap this out for it. I don't know. If you're a whiskey person, maybe swap a rum-based drink for this. I don't know. Sweet, so I can get there's sweetness on it. Sorry if I'm not giving like elaborate notes. Somebody one time commented or said that, I give pretty simplistic notes, and they didn't mean that as a insult or anything, and I don't take it as one. But that's just kind of, I'm a little bit more of a simplistic guy, so I don't always try to dig for stuff. Sometimes I'm digging because I'm not finding anything, and I gotta give something. Oh man, that's really, really good. Oh, hang on. carrot cake. So it tastes kind of like carrot cake, but growing up, my mom made something. She didn't make it very often because it was not, nobody liked it. She made something called tomato soup cake. It was weird, trust me. It was weird. Nobody liked it, but it was a spiced cake made with tomato soup. Weird. Did not like it. But this, I get some of the spiciness from that cake on it, and I like it a lot. All right. That's going to do it for Angel's Envy. You got the bourbon port wine finished. You got the rye Caribbean rum cask finish. My first time having the rye. It's really good rye. I'm glad. And what's really nice too, I know how much this goes for in my area. Connor, even though it was a Christmas gift, he did disclose to me how much he paid for it, and he got a deal on it, which I'm happy for him about. So that's going to do it. Angel's Envy, really good stuff. Connor, thanks for this bottle. Fantastic. You guys have a great day. Cheers.